This is a Balanced Brain podcast with your hosts, Melanie Nicholson and Sean Clift.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Balanced Brain podcast. My name's Sean Clift and I'm here again with my good friend and co-host Melanie Nicholson. Melanie, how are you?
I'm good, thanks Sean.
That's
how are you
great.
going?
I'm really great.
Good.
Look, really excited. We've got another international guest. How good is this? The Balanced Brain is going worldwide. People get on board.
It's very exciting.
So let's welcome Clint Loke, all the way from the UK in the Jersey Islands. Clint, welcome along. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. Yeah,
Right.
Happy days. All is good.
Excellent. Clint, 21 weeks sober today. Tell us about it.
Brilliant. Oh, it's been brilliant. Like, I mean, there's been it's been quite a ride, and it's to start with. For the first 4 weeks, it was like it was a little bit tough. Like, you know, breaking a habit like is tough, but after 4 weeks, it got a lot easier, and then my health dramatically improved. Like, you know, going into the second month and then the third month, and like now where we are today. So first of all, like, you know, when you break a habit, it's like, you know, oh, how am I going to do this? But then before you know it, like, you know, what 1 week leads to another, and you know, you start reaping the benefits. Like, don't get me wrong, like, say, like the first week, like, you know, when it gets to the end of the week, like with work, you're thinking, oh, what am I going to do, like, on my night off? Like, you know, that's the first sort of, you know, thing you've got to overcome. I must admit, like, not going to the shop and buying, like, say, 10 cans of lager and, like, a bottle of wine. Like, you know, I was thinking, oh, my God, I'm just going to have to get through this night and not touch anything. So I just found myself just, like, you know, just watching lots of movies and, like, you know, just trying to keep myself occupied with different tasks. And then, I was trying that each week. But because I work as a taxi driver, I kind of had, like, the upper hand of, like, you know, we're just coming into summer. The workload is picking up. So I did find myself as well, like, doing a lot of extra hours in the taxi to, you know, to keep me occupied and to keep the drinking, like, you know, off my mind. And also, I really started, like, you know, surfing, and, like, whenever the waves were good, just, like, hit the waves really hard. But when the waves weren't that great, I was just making sure I was just keeping on top of, like, you know, the fitness aspect with, like, going for runs and going for jogs, and, you know, eating well as well. And, yeah, just doing things that are really, like, you know, better and positive.
So why did you do that, Clint? Like, what was the catalyst for that?
Well, the catalyst, basically, last year, I got, I was drinking far too much, and basically I did get into a bit of trouble with the law last year. I got into a bar fight with a good friend, like me and him, like, you know, had a fight with the manager of the establishment. And that was basically me drinking too many double G&Ts. And, you know, basically, it's not the sort of person I am. And I ended up spending a night in the cells. And, yeah, that basically, yeah, what was the catalyst for the stoppage, like, you know. So, yeah.
So, Clint, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what are you doing for work, and how old are you and stuff like that? Give us a bit of background.
Yeah, well, I'm 41 years old. I work as a taxi driver. My passions are bodyboarding, surfing, traveling. I've got a hobby of, like, say, when there's no work in the taxi, of, like, learning different languages. And currently I'm learning Norwegian.
Wow.
And after that, say, a bit of photography. And I've also got interest in, like, healthy lifestyles, and, like, you know, studying particular diets, like how they affect your health and everything.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's kind of, like, you know, what I'm at the moment, like, you know, that's, like, say, hobbies and interests and everything, like.
Yeah.
And Clint, how did you find it? I remember when I did 6 months off the grog, probably in 2014, I think it was, I didn't have a very good reaction from family and friends. Like, it was like they couldn't relate. in a way, like for that time. It was really interesting to see that. Like, I don't know, how was that for you? Like, do you have a social group that is, tends to meet up and drink, or how did that, go down with your mates?
Well, the plus side is I was before last year, and before the alcohol like became a problem, like I was kind of like drifting away from like friends that were like really, really heavily drinking, like, and a lot of my mates that are like, that I used to drink with, like a lot of them have got families now, and a lot of them have calmed right down.
Yeah.
And since turning the age of 40, it's kind of been a blessing that I'm doing this now, because like I haven't got it in my ear. Are you coming to this event? Are you coming out on the piss and all of that sort of stuff? So, that now compared to like, say, if I did this 10 years ago, it would have been a lot harder, because there would have been a lot more peer pressure, to have gone out and everything like that. But now, because I'm 40, thank heavens that everyone's settled down to family life and, is starting to act responsible, like, which is a bonus. Like,
so Clint, like, I was actually talking about this to a friend of mine the other day, and I said, I was having a guest on the show who's gone off the grog for up to 20 weeks now, and we were just sort of having a chat about it. And I said to him, what would you want to ask? And he's a really great friend of mine, and we're both we're both musicians, and we've both been in the music scene here in Australia for a long time. And he sort of said, like in a subculture like ours, like music, it's so difficult to go anywhere and not drink, because almost everyone's doing it. How do you find it with the surfing culture over there? Is it a similar kind of culture?
It is, but it's mainly with the guys that are in the bracket of being like, say, 20 to 35. Like, I find the older guys, I'd say me and like my friends that are really good surfers, we're kind of like getting health conscious now. Like, the older we're getting, like, we want to keep up with our abilities. Like, we don't want to start slipping in our standards, like, for the younger guys to overtake us. Like, we still want to go out there and, like, we want to show the guys that we can rip. So right now, once you get past like the 40 cusp, like, you kind of have to do that. You kind of have to develop a healthy lifestyle to keep on top of it. Like, you can't be going out boozing and smoking like 20 cigarettes, like, in a boozing sesh, like, and expect to surf the way you did, like, say, 10 years ago. So I think, like, a lot of us guys, we're kind the people that are still drinking heavily, they've kind of like put surfing on the back burner a little bit. They'll still go out. Don't get me wrong, they'll still go out, but but they don't surf like they did. But all of us guys, well, me and like, say, a group of friends that are like, we're past 40, but we've adapted the healthy lifestyle, and basically, we're still keeping up with guys that are like, 10 years younger. Like, so that's pretty much it. Like,
yeah, great. And so, tell us about the surfing over there, Clint. Like, it's pretty. I was lucky enough to go to Cornwall, probably maybe longer than that, maybe about 10 years ago. I was absolutely surprised how great the surf was there. What's it like there on the Jersey Islands? I'd say we get slightly less surf than Cornwall, because like our swell window isn't as exposed as what, say, Cornwall is. Like, because Jersey's tucked a little bit further in the English Channel, we've only got a west-facing swell window. Okay. Whereas like Cornwall's got like, say, southwest, west, and northwest. Like, whereas we have to wait for a low pressure and the ice bars to be pretty much aiming right towards us, like within our swell window, before we'll get waves. Like, but generally the rule of thumb is like, you'll get say Newquay will get surf like one day, it'll be like, say, head high. Jersey will still be flat on that initial day where Newquay gets it, but then the day after, it will arrive to Jersey, but it'll be like, say, a foot less. Yeah, like, right. Okay. Yeah. We had one of our episodes not long ago was a little episode because Mel has been learning to surf because she's in Newcastle on the east coast here
And so we're both
sweet.
Yeah.
So we have done an episode
days.
on the benefits.
It's
of
not
surfing
going
and
very
the
well.
benefits
My
of being in the
surfing
ocean.
crew.
Classic.
So Clint,
there's no other better therapy than being in that sea. Like,
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to say to you. Do you see it almost surfing as a spiritual practice? And when I've looked through your Facebook, I see that you, you do. I can see spirit coming out in some of the things that you're saying. So what does spirituality mean for you? Like, and how has that been part of the journey?
Well, I'd say the drinking has been no good for my spirits. It basically put an evil spirit in, converted a good spirit with an evil spirit, which caused me to have that fight that night. But like with the surfing, it's a release, and basically it's soul cleansing. It's like, the most beautiful experience you can ever have. Like I've surfed like, all around the planet, and like literally, surfing. Once you get a tube, when on a wave, like say if you're in that tube and you're in it for like the longest I've been tubed for is probably say 10 seconds plus. Like G-Land in Southeast Java. Yeah, it was pretty epic. And when I came out of this tube, literally my heart was bouncing out of my chest. Like,
yeah, wow.
And the euphoric sensation was just like through the roof. It's like the best feeling I've ever had in my life, and that's better than anything I've dabbled with, and like any rendezvous with a lady, and that is a feeling from God. That is a feeling from Mother Nature, and like it kind of I don't know. It set the tone and just like made me like highly addicted to the sport of surfing. Like, nothing can. And I don't think, like, from having that euphoric sensation, I don't think anything could compare to that. Like, and the spirituality of it is like, because I surfed Chopu. This was going back, like, say in 2017. And it's the wave that breaks in the shape of the Fibonacci.
The Fibonacci sequence.
Well, if you know the Fibonacci code, like Chopu, like breaks exactly identical to it. Okay. And I literally, like, on a big day at Chopu, I took off, and I didn't make this wave, but I got swallowed up into the Fibonacci style wave, and that literally, I think basically on the spirituality section, sector of that, I could literally tick it off, like knowing I've been swallowed by Mother Nature in the Fibonacci style of wave, like, and it's the spirituality of it is just like amazing, like so nice.
Yeah, I think I was actually watching this little documentary the other day about people who work in nature. And they have such a much more connection to the environment. They have such much more connection to the earth. And I think it's a spiritual thing, because if they're working with nature, whether they're sort of, out on a boat, on a fishing boat out in the ocean, or they're, working the land to make, to grow food or whatever, nature becomes sort of an everyday aspect of their life. They need to know what the wind's doing. They need to know what the swell's doing. They need to know what's happening with the rain. And I think surfing connects you to that, because every day you're waking up, you're checking the conditions, your whole day revolves around that nature. It gives you that connection that I think people who work with nature and exposed to nature every day, it gives you that spirituality and connection to the earth. That's what I think surfing does.
Sure. I totally agree. Like, it's surfing because you're getting, like, say, Mother Nature, like, say, if you're walking down the sands, like, when you're wearing, like, say, like, bare feet, like that, down through the sand, and then you're cleansing yourself with the ocean, you're getting that electrical spark through your body, like, and
Absolutely.
That keeps you alert, that keeps you alive, that keeps you vibrant, like, and
there's that element of fear as well, especially I know exactly what you mean by that Chopu break. I've never been there, but I've seen a lot of footage, and I don't think I would have I don't think I'd have the balls to go out in it myself.
Yeah,
but
it looks
that
great.
fear and taking risks is also a big part of it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. See, I think, like, say, the risk factor, don't get me wrong, you got to, like, everyone needs, like, say, a little bit of risk in their lives. And surfing has taught me how to do that, I think. And basically, like thinking, like, when I was a grommet, I used to get really scared when the surf was, like, say, 6 to 8 foot. But now I'll paddle out when it's 6 to 8 foot and not even, like, not even care. Like, it's just, okay, it's above 6 to 8 foot. Like, but even now, like, I'll when I surf Chopu, when it was big, it was like a good 16 to 20 foot high. Like, we're talking normal feet, not surfing feet. And basically, I wasn't scared because I did a lot of training before I went out there. Like, I did 3 months worth of CrossFit training, like, here in Jersey. And I was doing a lot of breath holding practice as well. And I got my breath holding skills up to, like, say, over a minute and a half. And but basically, that kind of, like, really gave me the confidence, like, when I was out there, like, and I think, like, say, recently when I've been scared surfing, I'd say, I haven't really been scared for a while, to be honest. Maybe I need to up my game a little bit and start towing in at Nazare or something like that. But it's a funny thing, like, But fear. I'd say when I was going through, like, say, my 20s, like, the time that I was scared, like, was when I was in G-Land. And this day, the swell, I'd say, was a good sort of, like, 6 to 8 foot. But then it jumped, like, say, midway through the surf. And these 30-foot waves started coming in. Wow. And there was these, it's like these crazy Hawaiians were out there. They knew exactly when this swell was going to hit. Like, I saw the horizon go black. Like, it started, like, breaking on the bommy at, like, say, G-Land. And all I saw was the whole crowd just paddling right to, to the channel, like, to safety, basically. And these Hawaiian guys, like, some of them had skinheads and tattoos on the side of their heads. Like, they had these huge boards. They were, like, paddling straight for these waves. And I thought, this is out of my league. Like, And I was thinking, I need to catch a big wave to come in. Like, even, like, say, the in-between waves were, like, say, a solid sort of, like, 12 foot high or 12 to 15 foot. So basically, I found the wave that I could just, like, ride, safely in, like, take off, still bottom turn, but then, pull away, like, like, before the wave shut down and, like, into safety. Yeah. And literally, once I did that, I was like, wow, I got out at the right time. I'm out of my league here. Let's go to the watchtower, have a few beers, and, like, just watch the guys surf rather than be out there. Like, but I think now I'd give it a shot. Like, I'd probably paddled for one of the big ones. Like, right now, I think, I've got nothing to lose. Just get out there, just surf one, and just see what happens if you get wiped out.
So it sounds like, Clint, that this has been like a major life change in terms of getting off the grogs and the stick. Are you going to continue that, do you think?
I have to, because the longer you carry on, the more you want to keep it up.
Yeah.
Like, and because I haven't really got many distractions now to force me out, like, I think, I may as well just keep going. And, like, all of my friends and all my family, they really know this time that, I want to give it up. Like, so I think now, like, it's the world is my oyster. Like,
so it's not a breakdown, Clint. This is it. This is a permanent thing.
Permanent.
Yeah, okay. It's a permanent thing. It is. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Wow. And it's. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. Like, sober free, healthy, and clear-headed, and
So let's talk about that. Like, when you say clear-headed, what have you noticed that's different?
Well, I think my emotions are more on a
an even keel right now, like, because when I was drinking, I found I was going right down in the dumps, like, you know, with, like, say, depression. But then all of a sudden I'd have a spike where I'd be like completely hyperactive, like happy, overly happy. And, you know, it's similar to, like, people say, oh, I might be bipolar or something, like. But since I've stopped, like, I don't really get, like, you know, the ups and downs.
Yeah, okay.
Like I did when I was drinking, like. And, you know, it's, I think, like, yeah, being teetotal now has a big part to, you know, has a big say in that. And yeah, it's literally, you know, the depression's finished, but I'm not like going crazily sort of like hyperactively like happy sort of, like, it's just, yeah, it's just like on a nice plateau sort of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Melanie and I have had our struggles with depression over the years. That's the reason why we started this podcast.
Yeah.
What's some of the other things that you've done apart from, you know, going off the booze? What's some of the other things that you've done to deal with your depression over the years?
Yeah, well, but basically, I think being active plays a big part. Like, in stopping it, like, and say if there's no surf, like, occasionally I think, the waves are crap. So, well, now basically I'm just going out for runs. Like, there's two really lovely reservoirs, like here in Jersey. There's a Val de la Mar Reservoir and there's a Queens Valley Reservoir. And basically, you know, I'll just go for a run, like, you know, around those reservoirs. Yeah. Or sometimes if I don't feel like running, I'll just go for a walk around them, like, you know, just like soak in nature and just like, you know, being by water has a therapeutic effect as well. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be like pumping surf all the time. Even just being next to a lake or something, like, or even just being down on the beach, just paddling your feet or something like that, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And yeah. Apart from that, well, I've just invested in a longboard skateboard.
So I've got one as well. I love it.
Yeah. This is going to be a new sort of, like, you know, another fun way of keeping fit, like, you know, aspect. So, but basically, so when there's no surf and when the weather's nice and dry, I'm just going to grab the longboard skateboard and just go for a nice cruise along the cycle path. We've got this lovely cycle path over here that's great. Like, say, 3 miles long. And yeah, it would just be nice just to get on that and just do some nice sort of carves and just, you know, just cruise down it, like.
As one of my lockdown projects when we were locked down here in Brisbane last year, I actually built a 5-foot longboard skateboard. It took a bit of mucking around. Yeah, so I built it out. I actually built it out of solid pine, and then so to stop it sort of snapping, I ran a solid piece of Tasmanian oak through the middle of it, which acted like the trucks, and then I had to sort of modify a few things here and there because, you know, the lean on it was so much, you know, so the wheels would get stuck, so I had to sort of grind little bits out of the side. It's a bit rough and ready, but it's it's big enough that I can ride it, and my daughter, who's 5, she stands on the front with me. And we glide along the bike paths along Moreton Bay here in Brisbane, and it's just the best fun. Yeah, you'll love it. It's great.
Superb.
I'll send you a photo.
Excellent.
I'll send you a photo on Facebook of it. So it's a pretty cool looking thing as well.
Yeah. That sounds like it. Like, you know, but mine should be down within the next couple of days. Like, so I'm just so eager to get it out there. Like, so I think, like, you know, having things like that, like, you know, can really help depression and everything. Like, I think your diet plays a big part as well. Yeah, like, you know, what you're eating and everything. So, but basically, I'm trying to. I did practice going vegan for a little bit, but it's such hard work. And totally. And then I thought, right, okay, what I'll do, I'll carry on eating, say, you know, fish, prawns, and chicken. Like, you know, just like cut out the red meat, but then just like, you know, just have like, say, white meat, well, fish and chicken basically, and just have like, say, 3 days where I'm like, you know, eating no meat at all, like, you know, just being vegetarian.
Yep.
Like, and like, even cutting carbs out as well. Like, so yeah, I've been practicing doing, just modifying my diet a little bit. And that's helped with, the depression as well, sort of. And yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, Clint, I was, when I was looking through your Facebook, I did see this random video. I thought it was you of playing a didgeridoo. Was that you?
Oh, yeah.
How did you learn to play the didgeridoo?
I did, the first time I visited Australia was when I was 21. And that was one of my biggest sort of, things to tick off the bucket list was to learn the didgeridoo. And literally, I think I did it on my second attempt. Like, I managed to get the drone going, like, and yeah, it was classic. Like, so I thought, right, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy one and then ship it back to Jersey. So literally, that's what I did. Like, and it was classic. But yeah, that's another. It's a great form of meditation. Is playing the didgeridoo, like, because you can really get into the zone with it, like, and. You can make all these funny noises, like, with the sounds of your mouth. Like, once you get the circular breathing and everything like that, like, you can just like, just play away with it for ages and ages. Like,
so
yeah,
traveling's obviously
this instrument.
Oh yeah, it's great, and that breathing part's all part of it, isn't it? But obviously, travel's played a big part in your life, Clint. So how important's travel been for you?
Yeah, it's been really important. Basically, as soon as I left school, I wanted to travel. And a lot of my friends, like, they went out, they got married, and they bought houses and everything like that. And, I haven't done any of that. I've just traveled. Like, all of my savings have just gone on exploring the planet. Like, and literally, I think right now I'd be well on the property ladder. I might have had 2 houses with the amount of traveling I've done in my life. So yeah, my sister, she went and did the opposite. Like, she's got a family, she's got a lovely house and everything like that. And I did the opposite to her. Like, we're chalk and cheese. Yeah. And yeah, traveling has just been epic. Like, I love meeting different cultures. I love, like, eating different foods and everything like that, and feeling different climates and stuff. And yeah, traveling is just like, that is very free spiriting as well. Like,
so you must have missed a little bit of that over with the pandemic lockdowns. It must have been tough. I've recently just come back from France.
Yeah,
and that's the first time I've been traveling with. I was down in the south of France surfing, and that's like the first time I've traveled. Well, since last April. Yeah, last April. That's when I came back from Morocco. Like, not this year, but last year. But being stuck in Jersey in a tiny little island that's 9 by 5 miles. It's kind of like...
It's only that big.
Yeah,
I thought it was...
Like, it's like being stuck in Alcatraz. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a very
must
nice
make it easier being a taxi
in a beautiful
driver.
Island, but yeah. But it's just like, well, me, for instance, I started to get, like, say, cabin fever. I thought, I am starting to feel a bit down in the dumps just because I haven't been able to jet off a little bit, like... But I just did a really good road trip down to the southwest of France in Hossegor, and the waves were pumping, and it was kind of like just what I needed. Like, especially like, say, abstaining from the alcohol as well. Yeah. But it was good being in France because, like, this is one thing I used to do before when I travelled. Like, when you've got a bit of a drinking problem, you're always thinking about your beer budget. Like, what are you going to have for your drink, like, each day in your location. But this time round, because I wasn't drinking, I was thinking, wow, I've got all this money to mess around with. Like, I can go out for some stunning dinners and even leave a juicy tip to the staff at the end of it, and just think, seeing the smile on the faces of people when you're like, giving them €5. Like, they're like, oh, wow, oh, thanks. Like, and then I'm thinking that would have only gone on beer anyway. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like traveling, you know, for myself has just been, so good. Like, and my dad was in Thailand, 2 years, for 2 years before he passed away. And I really started like researching into the Buddhist culture over there. Okay. And Thailand it's the Buddhist culture that, like, you know, that kind of put me on a path to spirituality as well. Like, and, you know, I'd say like the Buddhist path and like, the Hindu path in Bali as well. Like, you know, that's kind of, that made me interested in, like, say, different faiths and all of that. Like, I mean, like, I'd say in Jersey, like, I do, like, say, you know, I was born into a Christian family, but I'd say I'm more sort of like, I'll research everything, and, like, you know, even like, say, like, you've got, like, say, Christianity, Islam, I've got, you know, and Buddhism, Hinduism, even, like, say, Kabbalism with the Jewish form, like, researching all of the positives out of that, you know, and trying to take it all in. I think it does, you know, make you a better person and everything, like, sure. And so I try and, like, look at everything with, like, say, an open mind and think that looks cool, you know, and with everything really. Like,
did you take up some of those meditation practices from the Buddhist teachings?
Quite a few. Like, you know, especially with releasing, you know, everything, like, in clearing your head and everything like that, and you know, not holding on to hate or, you know, all of that stuff. Like, you know, just releasing. Like, don't be try not to be dragged by anything. Like, you know, just have everything, like, say, any issue that's pented up, like, you know, in your mind, just, like, release, like, totally. And the Buddhist meditation is absolutely superb. Like even when I was over there, like, me and my Thai girlfriend at the time, we'd go up to the Buddhist temple and basically go and, you know, light the incense sticks, and after that, go and see the monks and sit down with the monks while they throw the holy water, like, you know, over you for the cleansing. Yeah. And then after that had happened, like, you know, you just feel liberated, like, you know, and just free, like, you know, your soul's been cleansed and everything.
Yeah, amazing.
But yeah, it's superb. Yeah, it's so nice. Like,
so Clint, you've been on a real journey over the last, you know, well, for many years, and a lot of people who listen to our program are going through some of their own struggles. You know, that's why people tune in. What's some of the advice that you can give in a general sense, or even more specifically about you know how people can go through a bit of a change, or if people are sort of suffering from a bit of depression, what's some advice that you would give them?
Well, I basically say if you was, like, flat out drinking, I'd say what I did, you know, I chose a day and then I just stopped. Like, but with some people that, you know, they might have a bigger problem. They might be, like, say, drinking spirits or something like that. So first of all, seek help from your doctor and just say, if I just go cold turkey, will it, you know, be detrimental to my health? Or, you know, should I do things bite-sized first? Like, you know, some people might have to wean themselves off a problem, like, you know, rather than doing it all at once. Also, try not to overwhelm yourself. Like, you know, try not to set yourselves too many tasks, like, you know, to do too much all at once. Like, so, you know, with me, I thought, right, okay, what I'm going to do is give up drinking, give up smoking, and turn into a vegan. Well, the vegan thing just overwhelmed myself completely. So I thought, okay, so I'll carry on eating meat just so I don't start getting ill with, like, say, other deficiencies and stuff. And I'll be vegetarian, like, say, 3 or 4 days a week. So yeah, but basically
just finding that balance,
it's setting yourself like challenges, and eating well is really important for depression. Eating, keeping active, and facing your problems head on. But then, if you overwhelm yourself, that might keep you in that sort of like depressed state. Yeah. So it's all about doing stuff in bite-sized pieces, just not taking on too much. Just think, right, okay, if I achieve this, I'm going to feel good. Try and do stuff that, you can basically think, right, that's a good achievement. I've done that, and then move on to the next thing. So set yourself a challenge, but then do, say, little challenges within little challenges also.
Yeah, that's great advice, Clint. That's really great advice. So, Clint, what's your hopes for the future? What are you hoping for, out of the outcomes that you're doing, and hopes for the future in general?
Well, I want to start, even though I'm self-employed as a taxi driver, I've kind of got, say, my own business, but I want to start a limousine business. And I think that's kind of say a step up from being a taxi driver.
Yeah.
So, but basically, I can start charging, higher rates for journeys and things like that. And then I also want to go back to the South Pacific. I've been to Tahiti, but I want to try Rarotonga next.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though they haven't got a chopu there, but they've got some really nice, perfect setups there that are just perfect for the bodyboard. So I want to surf, a few of the breaks on that island. And after that, probably just keep being healthy, keep trying to be a cool person. And, you never know, if I meet that special somebody, in the future, then, probably settle down.
Great.
But settle down, probably not, but I need to make sure that they're kind of a crazy sort of traveller, and someone who wants to spread their wings as well. So
you have to manifest that,
like-minded person.
You can manifest that.
Totally. Yeah.
Hey, Mel, you guys connected in a pretty crazy way. How did that happen?
I was so Clint, I don't know how you were posting surfing videos, and my partner's a mad surfer. And and I was showing him your stuff and then all of a sudden I got this, Clintos has accepted your friend request. I'm like, I didn't send a friend request, and I was really I didn't want to be one of those creeps, right? Because I saw that we had no connection or no connecting friends. So I ended up sending you that. I ended up sending you that message saying, Hey, Clintos, I'm not weird. I just accidentally must have sent you a friend request. And anyway, you're a pretty funny guy, so I'm going to follow you anyway. And that's how. And I've just been really enjoying your stuff. But I don't know you at all, and you don't. But it was weird because I was like, I don't want to be one of those creeps where you think I'm a creep. But but it ended up working out really well because I found your journey really interesting, and I even just watching how people were commenting on your journey and sort of seeing the different comments so no, it ended up working out well.
It's worked out well. Here we are now, the three of us connecting, and hopefully everyone connecting worldwide to have a listen to your story. It's so great for you to join us, Clint. We've really appreciated having you on the show.
Thanks.
We'll send a couple of links to your Facebook page, because anyone who's into surfing is going to love the stuff that you're posting on there. But also anyone who's going through their own journey of, maybe wanting to give up the booze or whatever, it'd be great to have a look at what you've done. And some of your posts have been really inspiring. So, mate, thanks so much for joining us on the show. It's just been amazing.
That's okay.
Thanks for being so open and honest, Clint. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Next time,
how's everything over there? Is everything coming back to relative normality, or is it still a little bit?
We won't even go there.
It depends on where you are in Australia.
Depends where you are in Australia.
Like where I am in Queensland, in Brisbane, it's fairly well back to normal. Mel's going through a bit more of a different experience, and if you're in Melbourne, well, you're still in heavy restrictions.
Yeah. It's like we're different countries.
My eldest brother lives in Brisbane.
Oh, yeah, that's where my family's from. Brisbane.
Yeah, I'm literally itching to get over there. Like, you know, as soon as you guys say yes, like, you know, we're back open for travel. Like, I want to visit my brother in Brisbane, and I want to go down to New South Wales to visit my mate in Cronulla. And I'm just like itching to get back down under. Like,
well, mate, if you get over here, get in touch, because I'd love to take you out surfing some of the breaks around here. I'm a longboarder, but we can have a cruisy ride around the areas that I love, and we'd love to catch up when you get over here.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Oh, that would be superb. Oh, that would be epic.
All right, Clint. All right, Melanie. Thanks everyone for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our show. Helps us with our algorithms. And we'll catch up with all of you again really soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.